Hey, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Um, Welcome to our Friday edition of My Take with Rosh Ya'acob. Welcome. On this episode of Rosh Ya'acob on Fridays, we're going to focus on the Torah portion. So it's going to be slightly different. I'm going to go through the Torah portion, try to get through the whole portion. I'm going to try to give some insights on things that's in the portion, and we're going to go from there. So I thank each and every one of y'all for logging on with us tonight on this Shabbat, as we open up the Shabbat by reading the Torah. I'm going to do a brief version of this. We normally go through this every Shabbat and go through the portion and go through it extensively, where it takes us at least 2 hours, sometimes longer than that, to get through the portion, because there's so much in the portion. We have great conversations as we talk about it. Yeah, so I'm going to do a concise version of it tonight, but we're going to get into the portion and go through the different things in the portion and try to come up with some understanding about it and things of how we're going to view things and what we're supposed to do tonight. So with that being said and done, let's get into the portion. All right. So first, you might be saying, for some of our audience that's new to the Torah portion, you might be like, well, what in the world is a Torah portion? What is a Torah portion, right? So I'm going to show you something. This one. All right, so let me move my little man here. All right, so the Torah portion is a section of the Torah that is read. Each Shabbat is different sections that are read. So I'm going to go to this Sefaria website, which is a good website to use if you want to study the portion on your own. And it actually works along with it's a calendar that's called Habakal that I use, where it will keep you up to date on the Torah portion. So let me go to that. Let me see if I can bring that up. All right, so you see this calendar is Habakal, and we see right there it actually starts with January, and I'm gonna make it kind of smaller so you can see how everything lines up. Let's see if we can see that. I might have made it too small. Let me see if I want to make it just small enough so y'all can see it, all the days and everything equally on the camera, without having to adjust the screen too much. All right, so that's probably about as good as you want to see it. So let me just switch to another camera angle so y'all can see it from that angle. All right, so from this angle, you can get a little, sort of a better look at it. Not that much, but you'll see that it starts with, you got Sunday, Monday, of course, you got the Shabbat. Yeah, it's not showing you the way I want it. Let me make this a little bigger. And then once I make it bigger, then I'm just going to adjust. I'm going to adjust it on this monitor. Let me adjust it on this monitor for you guys. You can see what it is that I am talking about. All right, so I still can't really see. Let me see if I make it a little. I was trying to make it where you guys can see it, all the things on it, but I'm just gonna cut Sunday off slightly because I really want y'all to see the Shabbat. So I'm gonna cut Sunday off because I want y'all to really see the Shabbat. All right, I'm even cutting part of Monday off, but it's all good. All right, so on a calendar is everything is set up, and normally on this calendar you will have on the side it'll tell you about the Torah portions. As you see, the calendar give you different readings throughout each day. There's different readings and stuff that is read. We're not going to focus on those. If you're real serious about your study, this calendar will really help you out a lot. If you're real serious about your study, this calendar will help you out a lot because it will show you. And yeah, you still can't see it from this one. But it will show you. Let me go back to that one. It will show you the portions right here, right? So you'll see the Torah portions that you can look at. Oh yeah. All right. So to show you the different portions right here, so you can look, you'll see all the Torah portions over here. And you can go down and it'll take you all the way to the end of the calendar year. And it goes by the Hebraic calendar, but it also goes by the Gregorian calendar that we all are used to in the diaspora. And as you see, it has today highlighted with the yellow. So let you know that that's today. And then the Shabbat for this week, it tells us the Torah portion is called Parshat Vayeshev, which means the portion entitled "And He Dwelt," or "And He Dwelled," right? So then you will click on that, and then that will take you to here. All right, so when you click on it, it will take you right to here. So I already got everything set up for that. And, the portions are broken down in several ways. So the portion are broken down. There's several ways of breaking the portion down. So let me see. Because this is not going to take you directly there. First, it's going to take you to show you the different ways. Because it's trying to figure out what way are you practicing, right? So you got the full Torah portion where it's the whole portion of the Torah. Then you got the trilineal year, which is a 3-year cycle. Now, some Hebraic communities go by the 3-year cycle, where they take their time and just study a certain section for that year. And then, just like you see right here, so for the first year, the trilineal, when it comes to this portion, they will only read chapter 39, 1 through 6. And then the second year, they will read 39, 7 through 10. In the third year, they read 39, 11 through 18. And then they will briefly break everything down with that. But the Haftarah reading will still be the same. But then, depending on the community, it might change and be judges. So, if it's, I believe if it's the Ashkenazim community, it would be Amos. But if it's the Sephardic community, it will be judges, or may alternate with judges depending on if it's a special holy day that comes about, or special time that comes about during this time period, then they will alter it. And this site is good as well because it gives you this text. Now, this text will take you right to the Sephora one that we were looking at. If I was to click on that. No, I was looking at this wrong. Let me go back for somebody say, man, they don't know what he's talking about. Because I normally don't use the trilineal one, but once I look at the full version over here, this is the sections that's red is broken down and maftired. So this is sections. So the full version, which is what we use, we would start right at the beginning of Bereshit 37:1 for the full version. And then these are the different sections that are read, the Puskim. And then over here with the trilineal one, these are the sections that are read for them. Now, what I was getting confused with was right here. See, because then these are the different dates. So let's say that was for this date right here. Let's say if we go to 2025, it would be read on December the 13th for 2025. And we see how now the trilineal starts with 37, 1 to 3, and we see it break down right there, right? And now watch the trilineal going to change again, because the next year it will be read December the 5th of 2026. And then we see it starts right there. And even the mafter is different. And that's because it's the first day of Hanukkah. So the mafter is even different for both of them. And the haftarah is different because of the first day of Hanukkah. So a lot of times different things change. Then if I go back to 2027, you see it turns right back around. So it's a 3-year cycle. Right? So I just wanted to explain the 3-year cycle because we don't normally use the 3-year cycle. So but I learned about the 3-year cycle before in the yeshiva, but you had different communities, like some Sephardim used the trilineal. Also, I think the Yemenite community as well. Maybe even the Mizrahi, I'm not sure. But I know also as far as some Sephardim and Ashkenazim use the full portion, the way we would do it. And the way that we do it, you will read the portion every year. Oh, hey, shalom, my kid. I'm glad I happened to look over there and see. So I wanted to explain all that because I felt like, especially since I'm saying, hey guys, we're going to go through the Torah portion. And for my day ones, y'all, my day ones, I want y'all to at least be familiar with what's going on. So as we go through the Torah portion, y'all will understand what it is. Now, you'll say, well, why is it a Torah portion, right? All right, so the portion was sectioned off based on the text. So now let me go to Sefaria so I can show you from there. Show you from Sefaria. All right, so let me come back. Let me go to this screen. Shalom, shalom, Aki. Good to see you on here with me, my brother. I'm going to get the show on the road in a minute. Just trying to help educate our people so they can know what's going on. All right. So let me show you this. All right, so this, I love the way they do it because it breaks down the library and the books. So you got the Tanakh. Of course, the Tanakh is the Torah, the Nevi'im, and the Ketuvim, which we call the Hebrew Bible. And it's made up of Genesis, or Bereshit, and Shemot, and Vayikra, and Bamidbar, and Davarim, right? So now, if I click on Genesis, it's different ways I can view this. I can view this according to the way, let me see if the other screen will show better what I'm trying to show you. No. Okay, so all right, so I want y'all to see what I'm looking at. All right. So now, these are the different ways you can view this, right? So you can look at the table of contents and it would show you the chapters. So you got chapter 1, you got all the chapters, right? But the other way is section off that our ancestors used to read it from. They didn't read it like how modern day people read it or how Christendom has taught us to read it, looking at the chapters and the verses and breaking it down from there. They view it through chunks, right? And these chunks are known as Torah portions or parashats. And they are numbered by their sections, like what we seen in the thing. They got 7 sections and they're numbered accordingly. So we will say the first section is Bereshit. Then you got Noach. Then you got Lech Lecha, Vayera, Chayei. And this section that we're looking at now is Vayeshev, right? So you'll be able to click on that and you see a section of, it take you right to the text, which is where we are now. Let's see. I'm just going to keep it this way. I'm trying to keep it. All right. I think all my other screens are right. All other screens are on point the way I wanted to be. So I had to get this screen together. All right. So this is where it's at with the text. So we're going to get into the text. I know it's a lot of technical stuff. I probably done bored some people by now. They're like, oh, whatever. Just get into it. We don't care about knowing all the technical stuff. I just want you guys to know. I don't want to just jump on hands and start taking it for granted that you know what it is I'm talking about. Even though I guess weeks from now as we go through this. I'm not going to do this each and every week. So I will be taking it for granted. Or I would say, if you want to know more about Torah Portion and how we go about doing this, go back to our first episode where we focus on the Torah Portion, where I went extensively into it, because I'm not going to go into that again this week. We're going to get right into the portion. So I'll probably do something like that. Because I know people are like, man, I know you're not going to do this every week. I'm not going to do this every week. I'm not going to do this every week. So y'all do not have to worry about this happening every week. All right. So now we want to get into reading the portion. So I'm going to go and y'all going to hear my voice enough. So I'm not going to let you hear me read it as well. I have a nice reader that I like to use. It's from the First Fruits of Zion webpage, and they have an excellent reader that will read the portion. I'm giving y'all all the resources tonight too, so this would be good. If you really want to get into Torah and understand the Torah and break it down stuff, I'm giving you a lot of resources. This other resource I'm about to give you is right here, right? This is called First Fruits of Zion. And or some I must have went like that when I made the page smaller and make it bigger. I'm like, why did it disappear? No.
Jacob lived in the land of his father's sojourning.
Okay, that is not what I wanted you to do. Oh, I'll make it a 2. Okay, people, let me get this straight. All right. Let me get this straight while you guys get it back to his right part. All right. Let me see. I got it to his right. Let me go back. Sure. All right, so yeah, we just want to use this page so everything can fit right. All right. So go ahead, I'm going to use this reader that I use, and it's going to read the text, and we're going to break it down from there. So if you want to follow along with me, you can turn your Bibles to Genesis 37:1. And the reason why the portion gets its name is normally from within the first sentence. It's a specific word that's read in the first part of this portion. It says Vayeshev, or in other words, he dwelt, Ya'acob. So right here it says he lived, but it's really he dwelled, or he dwelt.
In the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Jacob lived in the land of his father's sojournings in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was pasturing the flock with his brothers. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought a bad report of them to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any other of his sons, because he was the son of his old age. And he made him a robe of many colors. But when his brothers...
So, y'all see I'm going back and forth for different ones. All right, so let's look at this. I want y'all to see this. It says, at 17 years of age, Joseph tended the flocks with his brothers. So now Joseph was 17. He's tending a flock with his brothers as a helper to his father's wives, Bilhah and Zilpah. Now, this, let's see. I'm going to see. Does it say that? Now, notice it doesn't say that in the text. So this is adding this because it's trying to let it be known what was going on. It says he was pasturing with a flock with his brothers. So I want to look at it again. Let's look. I'm going to see something. Because I just noticed it's saying that's different. Yeah. So it says it's a helper. I wonder why they put that as a helper in there. I guess they were trying to say that he wasn't really working. He just was going along to help them. But whatever the case, they all agree that Joseph brought a bad report about his brothers. So he said something bad about them to their father. Now, what sons was these? These weren't the sons from his main wives. Because remember, Ya'acob had 4 wives, right? So these weren't the sons from his main wives. These sons that Joseph is going to tell on, they were the sons of his other wives, and I don't think they took lightly to this Joseph telling on them, bringing a bad report. You know, I don't think they took lightly to that. They probably felt like, what's going on here? Like their father sent them there to spy on them. Because it's kind of weird. He's out there with them, and he go back and say, they didn't do this. And it's like, what? Now, this brings up something with the Torah that we will see where it says, don't go around being a talebearer against your brothers. Right? So, we're not supposed to go around carrying tales or speaking Lashon Hara about our brethren, even if what we say is true. But some people say, well, if it's true, it's true. Even what we say is true, that's still Lashon Hara. And you might say, okay, is that in the text? Yes, it's in the text. Don't go around being a tale bearer on your brothers. So let me see. I wasted a lot of time going through the explanations instead of getting into this, which is what I should have done. But I wanted to make sure you guys knew and understood, and I didn't want to just pop out. Let me go here. I want to show y'all this about the talebearer. Because on this show, when I tell you what it's saying in text, I don't want it to be, oh, he said that, but he didn't show us. All right, so we're going to go to this text. I want to show y'all this. So let me go back here. I want to show y'all this. All right, so this is YHWH 19. I'm going to try to make it a little bigger for you guys. Not big enough. Oh, that might be too big. Let me make it smaller. All right. So, look at verse 16. Look at what it says. You shall not go about as a talebearer. So I want y'all to see that, because sometimes, people tell y'all stuff and they don't show you where it's at. But I want you to know, when you come here and I tell you something, I'm going to take the time to try to show you what I'm talking about. I'm not just going to tell it to you and say, take my word for it. That's not what happens on this channel. I'm going to say, okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. So again, it's right here. Vayikra 19 and verse 16. You shall not go about as a talebearer among your people, nor shall you take a stand against the life of your neighbor. And he says that he is Yahweh. So that's letting you know who said it. Who's saying that we are, this is what we're supposed to do. The Almighty is saying it, right? Hashem. That's who's saying this. All right. So he said, hey guys, you can't be a talebearer. Don't go around being a talebearer. But yet, we see in this verse, so a lot of times things happen in the past and then it gives us an idea of why. This is going to bring animosity amongst the brethren. Joseph doing this is going to make it where these guys that could have helped them in the long run are going to sit silently by as what takes place to him, because he went around telling tales on him. Even if it is true, that does not change things. And you might say, wait a minute, what you mean? Let me look at the Halacha for it, right? So let me show y'all this. Let me go back to, all right, so that's right here. I'm always into the books. Y'all said I'm real with this, people. We do this. I'm not some dude. I'm not a dude that came on the internet to learn about stuff and to say stuff. I'm a dude that was doing this and then said, I'm tired of these dudes on the internet saying stuff and don't know what they talking about. Let me get on the internet and I could do what they doing and show people was really real, right? So let's get to it. So just want to make that clear too. I'm not, because you got some people that just jump on the internet and they internet famous and this, that, and the other. No, that's not me. I actually studied this for many, many years. And I want to show y'all what it says about this. So what this book does, it shows you all the mitzvah or all the commandments. And it goes through each and every one. I'm at 613. And it tells you what each mitzvah is and what it means. So now I'm going to find this verse within it, so I can see which mitzvah this is. All right, so this is mitzvah 236, right? So again, there's 613 mitzvahs. You got 365 negative or prohibitive mitzvahs. Those are mitzvot where you are told thou shalt not, or you are not to do something. You're commanded not to do something. And then there are 248 positive mitzvot or commandments, and those are the mitzvot or commandments where you are told to do something. So you got the positive, you got the negative. The 248 positive correspond to the 248 limbs in your body. The 365 negative corresponds to the 365 days of the year. Now, watch this. It says, you shall not go about as a talebearer. So that's Vayikra 19:16, what we just read. All right, so let me bring the text back up for you so you can see it's what we just read. Go back. Right. It says, it is forbidden to reveal to a person what was spoken about him, even if the report is perfectly true. This is the prohibition of Rakilot. It says a talebearer is guilty of this avera or this sin, even if the gossip spoken contained nothing shameful or negative concerning the one being discussed. If it will ultimately cause animosity between two Hebrews or two Israelites. So, if this will cause animosity between the brethren, you can't do it. You're not supposed to do it. Now, of course, there are different things where it is different times when you can talk about some things and expose some things that need to be exposed. That's not saying you can't expose people that need to be exposed. Let's not go that far with it. Of course, this is dealing with what we see people do all the time. Go around like, you know what so-and-so said about you? Or, they don't really mess with you like that. Or, this happened and that happened. So you go around telling these bad reports on your brethren. It's going to bring about animosity. It says, an avera is a more serious nature. An avera of a more serious nature is that of slandering. So this one is bad, just going around telling a tale, but this can also lead to slandering, which is lashon hara, whereby one spreads evil gossip concerning a third person, which will definitely bring shame and disgrace to that person. It will eventually lead to dissension, jealousy, or hatred. The avera or the sin of slandering is only when the speaker is announcing the pure truth without changing or adding even a hairline to a story. However, if the slanderer altered the truth, even without evil intentions, he's guilty of defamation. So then it even get any worse. So if you don't change any of it and you say what it is, that's slander. But then it get even worse, because if you do change it and add to it and make it like the person was saying stuff that they really wasn't saying, that was defamation, which is motzi shem ra. And that's the worst avera of them all. It says to listen to lashon hara is a greater sin than spreading it. So then they give you different variances of it. If you listen to it, it's bad, but if you spread it, it's bad, but if you listen to it, it's even worse, because the listener is giving ear to the one who spreaded it. If you're not willing to listen to it, then a person wouldn't be able to spread it and it wouldn't go nowhere. But if you got your ear idly there, like, tell me y'all drop the T. Tell me y'all the T. You know, they got their little saying now, clock it and T and all that other stuff. Hey, give me the T, right? Spill the tea, right? So that's even worse. To listen to lashon hara is a greater sin than spreading it. If the listener ignored the speaker, the latter will have no one to whom to gossip. So if you weren't paying no attention, you wouldn't have nobody to gossip to, and it would be impossible for the malicious news to spread. Therefore, the listener is also guilty, causing the speaker to sin. It is deserving of even greater punishment. So he said, just by you listening, you causing the speaker to sin. He already said it, but by you listening, you encouraging it, and they hard on you for listening. The sages teach us that the sin of Lashon Hara is comparable to the three most serious sins for which an Israelite must sacrifice his life in certain situations. And those are adultery, idolatry, and murder. Adultery, idolatry, and murder. Right? Look at what it's saying. Adultery, idolatry, and murder. So let's go back to it. Let's see. So it says, moreover, one who speaks Lashon Hara about another person loses his all merits which he labored to earn in this world. To the one he spoke about, and simultaneously acquires the latter's discredits verotes. So it says, to illustrate this concept, a story is told about a pious man. Now listen to this. To illustrate this concept, a story is told about a pious man who, after learning that someone spoke Lashon Hara about him, sent a very expensive present to that person. And with it he attached the following note: my dear brother, you should know that this precious gift which I'm sending you is in return for the huge present which I received from you at the moment you spoke Lashon Hara about me, when all your merits were transferred to my account. Therefore, as a token of appreciation for receiving all these merits, I'm sending you this precious gift. The actual meaning of rakil, the root of the word rakilot, is peddler. Hence, a peddler of small talk. And then it gives a little story. I love when they get a little stories. And it says, there once was a peddler who journeyed from town to town, calling out along the way, who wants a life-giving medicine? Who will buy a potion of life? One morning he passed by the home of Rabbi Juney. The latter opened his door and motioned to the peddler to come in, saying, come into my house, for I am interested in trying your potion. The peddler replied, this potion is not for you, nor is it for those like you, Rabbi Juney. Nevertheless, urge him to come in, and so he did. He then asked the peddler, where is this potion of life that you are selling? The peddler took out a sefer. Now, remember the other day I told y'all sefer means what? This is a class where I'll be waiting for you to raise your hand and tell me what does sefer mean. Y'all remember what I told y'all sefer meant? I think we went over this on Wednesday when I answering question portion of the show, and we was talking about what a sefer meant. Sefer means book. It means reading, right? It means book. So he says he took out a Sefer Tehillim. So he took out a book of Psalms from his pocket and showed him the 34th Psalm, wherein is written, who is the man who desires life and loves days that he may see good. Guard your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking maliciously. Thereupon Rabbi Juney exclaimed, all my life, I never fully appreciate the meaning of those words. But by setting it forth thus, you have given me new insight to them. This is also what Shlomo HaMelech, or King Solomon, said in Proverbs 21:23. He who guards his mouth and tongue will keep his soul from grief. Now, why are we going through all this? Why am I bringing out all this to you? Because it starts off by pointing out that Joseph was guilty of this. The same Joseph that we're going to see that's going to try to keep all the different laws and so forth and so on, this was one he was guilty of. In the same way it says, it keep your soul from grief. Hey, shalom, shalom, my key. Good to see you, brother. The same way that it says in here, it says, if you don't, like what Shlomo said in Proverbs 21:23, he who guards his mouth and his tongue will keep his soul from grief. If Joseph wouldn't have been a talebearer, these brothers would have probably spoke up for him against Shimon and Levi. Because make no doubt about it, Shimon and Levi more than likely were the ones that's about to put it on him. They were the ones that said, yeah, we want to get him, because we remember what I went through with you guys last night when we went through our rules of engagement Thursday, and I broke down the thing with Dina from last week's portion and about how the two brothers went in and killed everybody in the town. Who were those two brothers that did that? It was Shimon and Levi. So we knew they didn't play no games with you. So more than likely, just using Blue's Clues, when we get there, we see that when they get to this point, they say, they're going to dream, but let's kill him and see what's going to happen to his dreams. Which one of the brothers you think is having this conversation? Who you think is saying this right now? And we're going to see later on some more empirical evidence in next week's portion, or I believe it might be the portion after next week, when the brothers come and meet Joseph after what they're going to do to him. And then they're going to meet with him, and we're going to see which brothers he really go at hard to punish. So it's a lot to the whole story. Once you guys really get in and read a Torah portion like that, y'all will be able to enjoy it. So it's a lot to it, right? But check this out. That's why he got this one rabbi named T.H.C.G.G, and he teaches that this is how you guard, because right now you hear Lashon Hara all the time, right? This is how you guard yourself against Lashon Hara. When someone is speaking some gossip or slander to you, you always look for a reason to explain why the person may have done what they did. I do this all the time and make the brethren go crazy. They're like, oh, you always defending, you always doing this, that, but they don't understand. I'm protecting me and them from Lashon Hara. Just going out saying crazy stuff about people, that's Lashon Hara. It's like we just broke down. That's breaking Mitzvah 236. So to guard ourselves from that, when people tell me something crazy about somebody, I say, well, maybe they did it because of this. Or do you really know why they did that? Or maybe they was thinking this, or maybe this, or maybe that. Oh, he tried to bring another way of looking at it because that guards you from the Lashon Hara. That's what the T.H.C.G.G said. he gave some ways to get around it. He said, because sometimes you might be there, you might be trapped. He said, what if you trapped in a room and you can't escape from the person speaking Lashon Hara? And we just read that it said the listener was even worse than the one speaking it, because you giving the one speaking it an air. So how do you guard yourself from that? Well, when they said something crazy about somebody, you say, well, maybe he meant this. Maybe they meant that. Maybe she was this way. Maybe she was that way. You try to bring some kind of context to it to try to bridge away from it. So that was one of the ways that he said to deal with that. And I got so in the habit of doing it, it's like a reflex now. I don't even realize I'm doing it when I do it. And they be like, oh, here you go again. And I just laugh like, yep, here I go again, because I'm not going to get caught up with Lashon Hara. I'm sorry. I practice that a lot to make sure, because I was always around people gossiping and chit-chatting about other people and what they said or didn't say. And that's one way to deal with that. Always try to come up with a reason why they did it, to take away from the sting of the gossip. All right. Let's see, we might have a little time to get into some more stuff within the text. Yeah, we just got to the very beginning. I think we just read the first few parts. All right, so I think this is going to pick back up at verse, we're going to pick up at verse 5, because what's going to happen is we're going to notice that Yaakov is going to be favoring the son of his beloved wife. Remember, this is the son of Rachel or Rachel, right? This is her son, his firstborn from her. So he may look like his mom. So when he sees him, he might see his mom, and this is what's happening. So whatever the case, he favored him, and he made him this tunic of many colors, and we're going to see what happens from there. Well, the brother's not going to take lightly to this. They really going to be upset about this tunic of many colors.
Saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers. They hate a robe of many colors. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peacefully to him.
So they hated him. He the favorite child. I know how it is to have to be in a family with a favorite child. My mom had a favorite child, which was my sister. She was the favorite, and we all knew it. And she would get preferential treatment, and we all knew it. And it's really bad when you know who the favorite is, and you feel some kind of way about their favorite. Trust me, I know.
Now Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him even more. He said to them, "Hear this dream that I have dreamed. Behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and behold, my sheaf arose and stood upright, and behold, your sheaves gathered around it and bowed down to my sheaf." His brothers said to him, "Are you indeed to reign over us? Or are you indeed to rule over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words.
So they like, what? And this the beauty of it that a lot of people might ain't getting. They understood what the dream meant. All of them had this uncanny ability or spiritual ability to understand dreams. And we got to remember, they got it from their dad, because remember, Yaakov had the dream, the ladder. And then when he talked about what happened with the sheep, remember he said that happened with the sheep when he was doing the different stuff with the sheep. And that came about because of a dream that idea about the sheep, where he was able to know about the spotted sheep and the black sheeps and the sheep with the stripes. And every time he changed, he would do, put the sheep before these rods. And he said that came to him from a dream. Where in a dream he dreamt this and he understood that, oh, this means this. So the Father understands how to read dreams. So do the sons. So when they see this and they see this stuff about gathering sheaves and how his sheaf stood upright and all the other sheaves bowed down towards his sheaf, that could have meant anything. But they understood perfectly well that that's you saying you going to be over top of us. We know what you're saying with this dream, buddy. We all can understand this, right? So let's go further. Let's see what else happens.
Then he dreamed another dream and told it to his brothers and said, Behold, I have dreamed another dream. Behold, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars were bowing down to me. But when he told it to his father and to his brothers, his father rebuked him and said to him, What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall I and your mother and your brothers indeed come to bow ourselves to the ground before you?
Now, again, he didn't tell them what those symbols meant. He just said, Behold, I dreamed another dream that the sun, the moon, and 11 stars were bowing down to me. But Yaakov, or Yisrael, and his other sons understood exactly what their dream meant. They understood what it was saying. They like, wait a minute. Even he said, wait a minute, you saying me and your mom or me and Leah? And your brothers? We gonna bow down to you? What? What is going on here? But he understood what it meant. Just want to point that out. That they understand what dreams mean, right? Now, we got this same thing in the book of Revelation. I think I might end right here with that sod. I want to break down this sod for you guys. And I'm going to stop it there. Unfortunately, I might pick back up with this on Update Monday since I'm leaving it like this. And I know you guys might want to know what's going to happen at the end. So I might pick back up to this with Update Monday when I will update this and go over any other things that need an update. Or start talking about something new. But anyway, I want to show you guys something. So I'm going to go to Revelation. Y'all going to like this. Revelation chapter 12. So Revelation chapter 12, look what it says. Now, my Hebraic community going to like this because the New Testament only community, or better known as Christian, they tell you that, oh, this is talking about Christians. But that is far from the case. Look at what it says in verse 1. Now a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun. Remember what we just read? He said the sun, the moon, and 11 stars all bowed down to him. He said the sun, the moon, and 11 stars all bowed down to him. Look what it says about this woman. Now a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon, and under her feet, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a garland or crown, 12 stars. So now, from the understanding of what Yaakov said about the understanding of the dream, right? The sun represents the patriarchs. The moon represents the matriarchs. So the sun will represent Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. The moon will represent Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Zilpah, and Bilhah. And the 12 stars, remember he said the stars represented each of the tribes, because when he said the 11 bowed down to him. So he would have been the 12th one. So the 12 stars represent the 12 tribes of Israel. So who's this woman that is clothed with the patriarchs, standing on the matriarchs, as the crown, and as a crown has the 12 tribes of Israel? This woman that's being spoken of is none other than Israel. This is speaking about Israel. Right here, this prophecy in Revelation 12. You might never got that. You see all kind of stuff, people talking about it, but you got it tonight that this is talking about Israel. Israel. And where do we get that understanding from? The Torah. From the dream that Yaakov had. That Yosef had, and that Yaakov interpreted. That's where we get that from. All interpretation and symbols within Revelation or any other prophecy all comes from the Torah. Somewhere within the Torah is going to explain to us what these symbols mean. That's why when the sages and others looked at this stuff, they was able to break all these things down and get this wisdom. Because they weren't looking at TV and watching sports games and all this other stuff and playing video games in it. They were studying all day long. Powerful. Powerful, powerful, powerful. At any rate, went past the time limit that I wanted to do. Apologize to you guys for going in that extensive breakdown about how you can understand the Torah portion, but I wanted to make sure, since we're going to be going through the Torah portion, that you understood why. And now I have something that other people, when they pop on, if they don't know, I'm not going to take the time out to go through that no more. I'm going to say, I already did it with the other class. All you guys have to do now is go back to this episode from the second season of my take and go to Torah Portion Friday, the first one, and you will get this understanding of why we go through the Torah portion, what the Torah portion is all about. And one thing I want to say about the Torah portion that is very powerful, and let me say this. One thing I want to say about the Torah portion, which is very powerful, the Torah portion will, as you study the Torah portion, it will ingrain in you so much that when you hear people read stuff from the Brit Kadashah, the Renewed Covenant, you're going to instantly understand the true meaning of it based off of Torah. And I think that's what make our brother Zion Lex real powerful in it, right? Because he was studying the Tanakh only for so long. that when he reads a Brit Hadashah, he's able to see stuff in it that people who only been looking at the Brit Hadashah, for the most part, not going to see. Because he's seeing it through a Torah lens. He's looking at it and he says, okay, nah, Torah, I understand. Nah, this not saying what you think it's saying. This is what it's really saying. That's how he's able to bring stuff out. You be like, wow, boy, that's deep. That's deep. He's bringing out stuff this in the text that's coming from the Torah. And you can do that too. The more you study Torah, you'll see it. People can come and say stuff to me from the Quran, and I can look at that and see Torah, and I can break it down to them. I say, well, no, really, it's pointing at this and that. And it's from a different lens than how a lot of them are looking at it. They be like, where you get that from? Torah. Because the Torah is the foundation. The Torah is the foundation. So if you want to understand what any of the books, from the prophets, the Nevi'im, to the Ketuvim, to the Brit Hadashah, even if you want to look at stuff from a Quran or other writings, if you look at it through a Torah lens, you're able to understand it. And you can explain it how it truly should be read. So with that being said and done, I want to let this end on a happy note. I want to play our artist of the week. He won the LoneWolf with this anthem that he came up with called Real Judah. And then from there, we're going to close out.
I rock with apostles' doctrine. Apocrypha on top got me topping over my opposites. Enemies can't stop me, they topple over the obstacles. Couldn't see with binoculars. Most of these bad words obstinate. Y'all discard them, they obsolete. They insubordinate. They wanna walk the path but don't wanna follow the coordinates. The Abba gave us statutes, laws, commands, and ordinance. He even gave his son. We matched the love with impertinence. Falling into the curse again, like our forefathers. Ain't nothing new under the sun till the son was sent by the Father. A higher, a sure, a higher. He set up my soul on fire. He breathed walk in my lungs. Yahweh keeps me inspired. I'm Judah till I expire. Team one for the team, boy. Do you even know what that mean, boy? When them lions step on the scene, see them queens that stay king. See 144 screen. Team one for the team, boy. Do you even know what that mean, boy? We don't die, we multiply.
Real Judah, real Judah, real Judah. All right, so I thank you all again for joining me tonight for our Friday edition of My Take, where we focus on Torah portion and reading from the Torah. And I bid you all a good Shabbat Shalom. Hopefully you have an enjoyable Sabbath at your congregation as y'all study and learn. And I will see you all on Monday with another My Take of Rosh Ya'acob ben Avraham. Shema Yisrael.